What's going on, everyone? Scott here from the Breakevens, giving you another team review today. We're doing the Carlton Football Club. We've done Brisbane and Adelaide previously. So if you have missed those videos, go back and check them out. A lot of information in there. But today is about the Carlton Blues. So before we get into that, don't forget to find me on X at Breakevens Pod, on Facebook, The Breakevens, and here on YouTube, The Breakevens. Like, follow, subscribe on all of those social media platforms for all AFL Supercoach content. The Blues. Let's get into it. So, not sure what the Blues, they finished 7th, I believe. I forgot to put it down, so that is my bad. But they made finals. A little bit disappointing on, obviously the year before that they made the prelim. Is this the year that they make the grand final? Who knows? So few ins, few outs, some preseason news, and they're not super coach relevant, but they do have. You know what? I'm wrong. I was just looking. There's a few more than I first thought. But let's get into it, hey? So ins, Ben Camporelli was pick 43, father, son, and his brother Lucas Camporelli was pick 54, and again, a father-son selection. Harry Charlson, I believe that says. He was in the rookie draft. Matt Duffy was picked up as a Category B rookie. Nick Haynes was a free agent that they picked up, who previously played for GWS, obviously. Harry O'Farrell was pick 40, and Jagger Smith, the big one, was pick 3. Not going to lie, most of those guys I don't know a whole lot on. I know Jagger Smith can get the ball whenever he wants. And I do know Nick Haynes used to be goated, but agent injury has hit him a little bit. So the outs, I'm going to butcher this. Dominic Acue, the Ruckman, he's been delisted. Jack Carroll got delisted, which is a bit surprising. Matt Carroll did as well. Same with David Cunningham delisted. Sam Durden delisted. Matt Kennedy was traded to the Bulldogs. Caleb Marchbank was delisted. Jack Martin was delisted. Alex Murkov was delisted. And Matt Owies was traded to West Coast. So Jack Carroll was around the team. Same with Cunningham, Durden, Kennedy was a big one. Marchbank, Martin, Owies. 7 guys that were around that team, the 22 to 25 gone. They brought in Jagger Smith and Nick Haynes. I don't see anyone else, that they've brought in playing. So they're going to back in their system and the side that they have at the moment, which is interesting. So let's get into the preseason news. So Alex Chincotta has an injury and could miss early in the season. Not good for him. Charlie Curnow, and also just quickly I wanted to point out, this is all as of the end of December, this news. Charlie Curnow had surgery just to clean up, I believe, of his knee. He should be back mid-January into full training, so wouldn't worry too much. Ollie Hollins is looking at having a role change and playing off the half back, using his speed and his running capacity maybe to go work up and down, which would be very interesting to see how that works. Is that just because Chincotta's injured, or is that something they're really trying to try out? So keep an eye on Ollie Hollins. Sam Doherty is training with the mids. Not great for Sam Doherty owners. You want him off that half back, getting those cheapies, getting the ball forward. So keep an eye there. Tom DeConning is currently on light duties. He's looking to take over number one rock predominantly. And I've expressed this before on X. Pitternet is shit, Vossi. Stop playing Pitternet. We want TDK cheap, number one ruck, full season. That's all we want. And lastly, Adam Chera is back in the midfield and is looking fit. Last season, he started off slow, but then he built up some momentum. I think it was averaging around 107-ish during that period before. I believe he got injured again. So that is what it is. That's all the news for the Blues. So let's go into the Super Coach selection. So the Primos, you got Nick Newman at 546K as a defender. He finished really strong last season, had a good season, averaged over 100. Can he continue that on this season? What does this say? What the hell have I put there? I have, 101.5 average. For a second, I was like, what is Lolsorg? It's 101.5 average last season. Can he go 105? If Doherty's playing midfield, what do they do with Adam Sard? I think Newman's the guy back there right now. You're going to pay 546K for him? Not sure. But he's definitely someone on my watch list. He takes the kick outs. They want it in his hands, getting it moving forward. He goes up the wing, inside 50s. It was a real, I guess, next level breakout or almost from last season. So can he go up once again to 105? We'll wait and see. Paddy Cripps at 595K as a mid. He usually goes under the radar a little bit. He averaged 110 last season. Do I think he goes over 110? No, I think he's at 110 averaging guy, especially with the team that they have now. Back in the day, it was just Patrick Cripps, and you're looking at 115, 120s. These days, still very serviceable. He's won a couple of Brownlows. I think 110 is perfect for him. Am I going to select him at 595? Probably not. A little bit cheaper. You can take a punt on Petrarca. So next is Sammy Walsh at 583K as a midfielder. The big thing with Walsh is, can he stay fit? There's always a back. There's always an ankle. There's always something that is keeping him out for long periods of time. He's looking good at the moment from what I'm hearing. He's looking fit. He's looking powerful. If there's no injury in pre-season, he could be someone you could take a punt on. Am I going to take a punt on Sam Walsh? No, because he's burnt me a couple times. And, I still have nightmares. So Sam Walsh could be a very interesting pick. Next is Tom DeConning at 547K as a ruck. Pitternet is everything. I touched on this a little bit earlier. Pitternet plays, TDK goes to the bin. If Pitternet doesn't play, TDK goes to the moon. The only problem is I don't remember the exact stat, but when they played Tom DeConning as solo ruck, they lost a lot more games percentage-wise than they did when they played Pitternet. So yes, earlier I was like, Vossi, Pitternet's shit, piss him off. Had enough of him. But they seem to win games when he's the ruck. Now, obviously, TDK, another season, put on a bit more muscle. Does that change things? Does Pitternet's only play against the big guys like your Gorns, your Grundys, and just let Tom DeConning feast on Tim English? Who knows? But we know Tom DeConning is an absolute star. He can average very well in Supercoach. Just depends on Pitternet. And I've put Harry Mackay and Charlie Curnow together. So 467K for Mackay and 444 for Curnow. But obviously, both forwards. Can they fire early? We saw early on, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. Mackay was playing that second ruck. It was firing early and then dropped off. We saw the season before, it was Curnow who fired early. You're picking them, just hoping to make potentially some quick cash, but I wouldn't suggest picking them. Maybe mid-season, yes, but right now, probably not. We've got a lot of value in the forward line, so wouldn't waste my time on any of these awkwardly priced mid prices. So, speaking of mid price and the value picks, we have Sam Dockley, the only one. Obviously, there's Ollie Hollands as well. That you need to keep an eye on with that half-back role. But Sam Dockley, 487K as a midfielder. What's his role? He's training in the mids. Is he going to be mid-wing? Is he going to be mid-half-back? Bit inconsistent. At 487K as a midfielder, 4K less is Sam Walsh, where he's going to play. 30K cheaper, you got Petrarca, got Will Day. That's 471, so it's like 100K cheaper. No, what am I on about? 16K cheaper. Who's looking to break out? I just think Sam Doherty, it's too much money to pay 487 for a midfielder where you don't know where he's going to play and what his output could be. We know off the halfback, he's 105 averaging guy. What do we do? We don't know. So Sam Doherty, probably not for me. The rookies, we've got Jagger Smith, 194K mid. Absolute jet. He gets the ball. He wants the ball. He's an accumulator. He wants it. He knows how to find it. Again, very smart at IQ. Just how much mid time is he going to have? You got Chera firing. You got Walsh. Walsh can play that inside outside role. You got Cripps there. You have Hewitt. You got Doherty. Does Nick Newman run through there a little bit? And there's probably someone else that I'm missing. So there's a lot of players there that could run through that midfield. I think though Smith will play that inside outside role. And I think he's going to score very well. 194. If he plays a lot more wing, then it is a little bit of a riskier pick because his scores will fluctuate. But I think he's too good of a player for that. So I'm probably locking him in at this stage. And the last one is Ashton Moya, 119K forward. A lot of reps on him. Jack Martin's left. So we'll see how, what they plan to do there. Is he best 22 at the moment? Probably not. If he plays, is he a sub risk? Yes, they'll probably try and bring him on for that spark off the bench if needed. So keep an eye on him because I don't want to rule him out. But at this stage, I don't think he's best 22. One thing I just forgot has come out in the last couple of days. Jack Silvani is training in defense, so just keep that in mind, but probably not. All right, let's go to the buys and the fixture. So Carlton have the round 12 bye, which is Carlton, North Melbourne, Port, and Bulldogs. Very, very tough that. North, you got Cherry, Caleb Daniel, you got Sheasel, McKercher. Some will be jumping on LDU. Potentially a few rookies there. Port, you got Butters, you got Rosie, potentially Farrell or Sin, whoever takes Dan Houston's role. Pal Pepper, but by this stage she's probably gone. And the doggies, you've got English, you've got Bond, you've got Dale, you've got Trelaw, you've got Libba. Am I missing anyone else? probably am, but you get it. Tough round for the buys. Into the fixtures in round one, they have the Tigers. It's away, but it's at the MCG, which is always a great game. And being Richmond, could see some big scores. The Hawks at home at the MCG, another one that's usually tough, but again, big game. Bulldogs at home at Marvel in round three. The Pies away at the MCG. Eagles away, it's Gather Round, so it's in Adelaide, and the Roos away at Marvel. So you look Hawks, Bulldogs, Pies, three tougher ones. Pies do leak points though, but then you got Tigers, Eagles, Roos in the first six. So yeah, Kerno, Mackay, if fit, could go absolutely ballistic. You know, Nick Newman could see a lot of the ball. Your Cripps and Walshes and even TDK could see a lot of points early. The Blues do play the Pies twice, the Bombers twice, the Hawks twice, the Roos twice, Port twice, and the Eagles twice. So Pies, Bombers, Hawks, you know, three of the big rivals. You got Port, who's a good side, but then Roos and Eagles to feast on. So not a bad fixture. Carlton fans are probably hoping for a little bit easier, but you finish in the top eight, so you can't really complain, can you? So that's going to do it for Carlton. There'll be more preseason news coming up at later dates, so we'll know more about Ollie Hollands, Jack Silvani, what the hell's going on with Sam Doherty, you know. So keep an eye on that. But that is going to do it. So before we leave, don't forget, hit me up on X at Breakevens Pod, on Facebook, The Breakevens, and of course here on YouTube, The Breakevens. Like, follow, subscribe for all of that. If you haven't seen any of the previous team previews, make sure you go check them out as well. And tomorrow we have the mighty Pies, Collingwood. So looking forward to that. That's going to do it for today. Thank you all again for watching and listening. And until next time, it's bye for now.